Hello everyone and happy Thursday to you. So today, as promised, I am going to be doing a work with me. So what that entails is a lot like a day in the life. If you've seen either me do those before or any other channel on YouTube, except I'm cutting out kind of the filler stuff. So it's not gonna be all the kind of like personal life stuff. You don't need to see me make a coffee in the morning or turn on the news or go to the gym, which I am just leaving now. I'm just gonna be doing the work parts with you guys today. So what we need to get done today is actually quite a few things. Some more worky, some more fun. I think we're gonna be starting off by bringing some stuff to my storage unit that I really need to put away. I have 2 IKEA bags full of stuff. One is kind of inventory spot items. So, oh my gosh, okay. I gotta flip the camera. The leaves here are gorgeous. Oh my gosh, look at the trees. I'm sorry for being distracted, but I feel like this is worth the distraction. It is so beautiful. Okay, here's me not being able to just like focus, especially in the fall. How can I focus when it looks like this outside? Tell me that. Riddle me this. Okay, back on track. The work we need to get done today is, first I would like to start off with going to my storage unit and putting away inventory. I have a full IKEA bag of items in Ziploc bags that go into my actual inventory bins. Usually that's kind of like blouses and dresses that are thinner, and sometimes like thinner knit sweaters, that just anything that can fit in like a gallon zip bag. But of course I will show you this when we get there and I will explain my inventory system a little bit better. And then I have an IKEA bag full of like jeans and bottoms and coats and jackets and thicker sweaters that go in all kinds of different spots in my storage unit, shoes, handbags. So I'll just give you guys a quick little rundown of our storage unit. I know a lot of you have seen it many times, but of course there's always a couple new people that want to see it, or a couple people that just want refreshers on kind of how we do our inventory. So I will show you guys that when we get there. Then since I'm there, I might as well pull items to ship. I actually recently shipped, like just yesterday, so I don't have a ton. Okay, I'm getting distracted by Halloween decorations now. I don't have a ton to ship, but we might as well, because I will be by a post office tomorrow. Which, speaking of, the reason I'll be by a post office tomorrow, well, tomorrow isn't Thursday, so the day that you guys are seeing this, I'm going to be going to Turnstile. I was there on Thursdays to do my consignment appointments. I gotta get stuff ready for that. So at Turnstile, it's kind of unique. You actually need to bring in all of your items on hangers. Now, obviously not all consignment stores are like that, especially not buy-sell trade stores. I think I've actually heard people at Clothes Mentor like scolded for having their items on hangers. So it's very, very opposite. But I gotta get all my stuff on hangers. I gotta make sure that all of it is like ready. So if there's anything that needs some final touches, like some sweater shaving, some steaming or something like that, I try to get stuff that doesn't take a lot of effort for consigning, obviously, because like what, in the end, each of these items is making me like $3 to $5. But if there's just a little bit of work that needs to go into it, I usually am fine with that. Just like throw some stuff in the dryer to kind of like wrinkle erase or something. So I kind of got to go through my IKEA bag from the bins and get that stuff ready to bring in tomorrow. I also really should tape up and finish up a Real box. I'm sure a lot of you can kind of tell or maybe can guess, but the Real is not nearly as big of a part of my business as it used to be. That's why I don't really make videos about it or talk about it too much anymore. It's not that I don't use it, but I definitely just like, I don't put the effort in that I used to, because the payouts are just like not that great. Some work that I'm not going to show you guys is I need to edit the Valentine video that goes up today. That would literally just be you guys watching me sit there on the computer for like an hour as I just like click and edit. I also would really like to stop by a Goodwill so that we can have like something kind of fun to do today. So that'll be more in like obviously a thrift with me style. I think I'm just going to go to basically my favorite local Goodwill. I really should take some pictures today of everything that I did in the haul on Tuesday. I haven't listed any of that or taken pictures of any of it yet. I'm also just a little bit behind on pictures. We're just in like the busiest season for me. As a lot of you know, I'm like full blown doing both YouTube channels. In our personal lives, we have a lot of stuff going on. It was my brother's birthday last week. It was Ryan and I's anniversary actually on Tuesday, which I forgot to mention. So of course we spent the night like not really working, we actually were carving pumpkins, watching Hocus Pocus, and I made from scratch chicken parmesan and garlic bread and vodka sauce, and it was it was so good. The leftovers are probably going to be my lunch today. I'm sitting here trying to think of what else I need to do today, but honestly, if there was anything else, I don't think I would have time for everything. It's already quite a lot. I actually need to film the Valentine video today too. I usually film those day of. What I do with them, I usually want it to be the most up-to-date data, I guess, if you want to call it that. And also, you can't schedule member videos ahead of time. Not that that matters to any of you, but you can't do that. So I need to edit it right when it needs to be posted. That's kind of like the, what do they call that? Like the back of the house thing, like back of the house processes, back house. What am I trying to say? Isn't that like a saying? The behind the okay, I'm basically trying to say behind the scenes, but I'm pretty sure there's like a saying that's like back house or back of the house. I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm diving too into the behind the scenes information that a lot of you probably don't really care about. I think I'm gonna, oh no, I can't go straight to my storage unit. I'm gonna swing by home, grab my stuff that needs to go to the storage unit. We're gonna go to the storage unit and we're gonna get moving with the day. I will check in with you guys whenever I'm doing any work, which is all day long, 24/7. I hope you guys are excited for a work with me. We haven't done this for a while, though I have done them in the past. I think it lets you guys see like a window into the back of the house, back in the house, in the back of the house processes that go on with my job and with all the work that I do. Anyways, I will check in with you guys probably when we get to the storage unit. Okay, so we are at the storage unit now and we have some stuff to put away. This is all stuff that goes into inventory tubs. I actually still need to bag a couple things, which usually is not how I roll, but I didn't want to bother Will too long when I stopped home, so I just ran in, grabbed my stuff and ran out. And then this is kind of the other stuff. So I have sweaters, jackets and coats, jeans. Like I said, I have shoes and all kinds of other stuff in here. So let me give you a quick rundown of how we store our stuff. In front of my bins, I have some extra sweaters. These are sweaters that I just don't want to hang up because I don't want to get hanger marks or hanger bulging or whatever to these shoulders. So I put them in here. It's totally fine. Yes, I would like to not have them there, but at the same time, it's fine. There's plenty of walking space otherwise. These are all my shoes. I do organize them by designer and regular, if you want to call it that. So these bottom two are kind of like more normal shoes. So a lot of the bins finds I have and stuff are like Sam Edelman, Steve Madden, Shoots, stuff like that. Then we have the designer shoes. As you can see, I've scaled back quite a bit. This used to be 4 full tubs of like luxury and designer shoes. But I noticed that they take a while to sell most of the time. Some of them, of course, can sell pretty quick, but some take a while. So I just haven't been wanting to invest all my money into designer shoes. Also, as you guys know, because I say it all the time, I don't really like taking pictures of shoes that much. So I have just scaled back a bit, which has opened up another tub that I'll probably make into a clothing bin pretty soon. But otherwise, I've separated my designer shoes by category. These are all pumps or heels. These are all sandals, including some heeled sandals. And then these are like basically everything else. This is like boots, mules, sneakers, that type of stuff. I have a few boots in here that don't fit in there. They're a lot chunkier. And then I also have a few boots down here that don't fit really well, including some that aren't even designer, like these are Fry boots up at the front right here. Speaking of this shelf though, we have our handbags on this shelf. We kind of just share the shelf. So these are all mine. We do just kind of like stack them nicely and carefully. Sometimes I'll put smaller ones into totes. This is wallets. We don't really sell many wallets. So this is all of our wallets combined. We just don't have much. These are some of my nicer bags, like this Prada. I don't really want to stack those, so I keep them like that. These are Ryan's bags. He has a lot more than me. So his are all the way up here and down here. This is now where we put our belts. We have, I think it's a tie rack or tie hanger technically, but it's perfect for storing belts. This is a very miscellaneous, random kind of section. So we've got a lot going on here. These are like my hats that I'm selling. These are scarves that I'm selling. This is really, really miscellaneous stuff. So like jewelry and keychains and sunglasses and like super miscellaneous. This is Ryan's, so I don't know what it is. And this is Ryan's, and I don't really know what it is. These are my swimsuits and bras. I put them together in this tub. This is just extra storage space up here. This is not real, for anyone wondering. The wall is where we put all of our coats and jackets and blazers and items that don't fit into inventory bags, but also items that we just want to take a lot better care of, or not get like wrinkles in, or not have them just like smashed in our tub. So a lot of these are pretty high end, or just, again, really nice. Sundance, Dolce & Gabbana, Vince. This is Nicholas. This is Sergio Hudson. This is Emerson Fry, Isabel Marant, Reformation, Isabel Marant again. I do have basically all of them memorized, so it's pretty easy to just climb up there and grab these when they do sell. Down here is more the like not full-length jackets and coats. Again, same kind of vibe. So like this is Isabel Marant, The Great, Ulla Johnson, Cezanne, Isabel Marant, Reformation, A Nice Anthro, Pendleton. You get the vibe. Underneath is just kind of some extra supplies in here. We don't really go into these two like ever. I think this might be dust bags and some extra poly mailers, and I don't really know what's in here at all. We have a bunch of cards that you guys have sent us over time, and here we do keep all of them, all of the notes and cards you guys send. This is Ryan's kind of pants shelf. As you can see, it's gotten a lot better. Last time that I did one of these, I think it was like, it was a nightmare. And I even said, like, I have no idea what's going on here, but it looks a lot more organized now. Mine is always pretty organized. If not, I would probably lose my mind. I've just got like certain types of jeans. Like these are all Pistola since I've been getting so many lately. These are all Citizens of Humanity since I have a lot of them. These are more like designer jeans. So AG, a Goldie, Hudson, Joe's jeans, Mother jeans. These are just random blue jeans. So like Levi's and Madewell and stuff. These are colored denim, literally anything that's white or black or tie-dye. Up here is luxury or designer pants. I don't have a ton of those right now either. I've just been not really feeling like spending a bunch of money on that. These are a bunch of Wrangler and Levi's jeans that I just have a ton of for some reason. Down here is other types of pants made of different like materials or printed pants. So this is like, I don't know, silk, linen, like sweatpants, kind of any other pants. Same with these, but these are a little more color coordinated. So any just like black or dark navy pants I get. And then these are all what I call like the earth tone pants. It just helps when I'm like looking to grab them to ship. We've got some extra shoe boxes back here if any shoes came in boxes. These are my shorts and skirts. And these are some like gowns and dresses that are way too big to put into inventory bags, but we don't really want to hang them because they would just be too long and I feel like they might get kind of dirty. And then in the actual inventory spots, I go by letter A, B, C, D, all the way through L currently, but obviously this would be M once I add this one. And then each tub has 1 through 30. So this is like A6. And then in the description of the item, I put the inventory number or spot so I can just pull it out once it sells. I know that Posh has a way that you can just add like extra information or seller only information where I could put that. But the only issue is then when I cross post it, it doesn't move over. So I like to have it in the description. I feel like that makes it easiest for cross posting. So that is what I'm working with. I'm not going to show you guys me putting all this stuff away because it's pretty boring. Like it would just be me running back and forth. But that is how our inventory system works. Hopefully that was pretty quick and efficient. All right, everyone, I am home with my shipping and I decided that I don't think I'm gonna show you me shipping just because I've been like thinking about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, we actually have like so much to do today. And I feel like you guys would rather see the like thrift with me part. I was like starting to wonder if I should cut out Goodwill. I'm just gonna ship on my own really quick here. I don't really have that much to ship anyways. And also I don't think I'm gonna seal up a real box. The box that I'm sending out is only like 2 or 3 things anyway. So I'm gonna super quick get to shipping and we will head out to Goodwill. And then later when I get back, I really need to get my consignment stuff ready. Like starting to get overwhelmed with how much stuff I have to do today. This Goodwill can be quite hit or miss for me, so we will see what we can find. First off, as you guys probably could guess, I checked the outerwear, jackets, and coats. I was first kind of skimming through for something that really stood out to me, and then once I did that, I was going to look through every single one because you never know what you're going to find. I noticed the really nice wool on this J. Crew coat. I do believe this is a men's coat, and even though the label is one they still use, I think this is a pretty old coat, so I did skip it. Also, as you can see, it's pretty pilly and kind of dirty. I thought this members only jacket was pretty funny with all the SpongeBob and Nickelodeon characters on it. I don't know who this teenage record player SpongeBob is. Maybe I'm missing something. Fooled! I totally was fooled by this. I saw the RY and the Novacek print on the inside, and it is not Burberry, it is Gallery. Right by the outerwear were blazers, so of course, that was the next place I had to check. And again, another J. Crew that is unfortunately older, and this one did have damage to it, missing the button, though I did actually like the style of this one otherwise. This Goodwill now puts all of their handbags on this back wall, and there was a new rack of them coming out, so I actually decided to check these. I don't find handbags to sell super often, and it's not my favorite thing to list or source anyways. Though, this one kind of stood out to me just in style. When I looked in, I noticed it was actually Stuart Weitzman, so I was pretty pleasantly surprised. I actually decided to carry it for a while, and then on closer inspection, I noticed a lot of wear to the patent and to the interior, so I did actually put it back. Though I will say, they marked it at only $4.99. Then I checked shoes, and these Franco Sardos kind of stood out to me. I don't often source Franco Sardos, even in the bins, but when they have a new label like this, I do consider them. It was a pretty cute style, though they were priced at $11, so I didn't grab them. These hunter boots were kind of cute, and they were also on the $11, which I was kind of surprised by. I feel like our Goodwills usually mark those up. This J. Crew sweater was so cute. I would have loved to pick it up. It was really nice material, but unfortunately that material was wool, and unfortunately the person who owned it definitely washed this incorrectly, and it was very shrunk. So it is time to do my consignment prep. Now I'm not going to show you every single step of the way because it is very boring. I literally just put all the clothing on hangers. I really should have just like popped through this, but no, I'm not throwing a Halloween party right now. This is just my decor that's still up. I have a lot of stuff. Let me show you. Ugh. This IKEA bag is literally full of stuff that I need to get ready for a turnstile. And there's also a bunch of stuff in this tub. It's not completely full. There's actually a bunch of extra hangers in this from last week that I need to dig out from under this other extra stuff. But luckily turnstile takes men's and they take women's and they take basically all seasons. Now I've told you guys in the past that turnstile is a classic consignment store. So I'm not going to be paid tomorrow when I bring this stuff in. I'm going to bring it in and they're going to try to sell it over time. And kind of like the Real and ThredUp and other classic normal consignment stores, they do mark things down over time. So after I think like 2 months, things go half off. After 3 months, they might go 75% off. And actually once they reach 75% off or more, I don't even get anything. So I'm sure there's plenty of things that I do lose money on, but in the end, it does pay off because I'm obviously getting basically all this stuff at the bins, and usually I kind of know what type of stuff people in my area buy. So when it comes to consigning, of course, it's a whole different like lens that you're looking through when you're finding stuff to bring in. When I'm finding stuff for eBay or Posh, I'm looking at not only styles, but also of course brands and what brands are reliable. I don't like to get TJ Maxx items. I don't really like to do boutique brands very often. I don't do any like online kind of brands, like online boutiques, especially not obviously like fast fashion brands. I don't like ASOS. I don't like that type of stuff. But when it comes to consigning, I lean much more into style. Obviously, there's still some brands that do stick out to me that I do know they mark up or that do well, but I'm mainly looking for styles. And I don't care as much if something is a boutique piece, maybe a TJ Maxx piece, like a Rachel Zoe or a Catherine Melandrino. So usually this is stuff that's kind of like cute enough that if it was a better brand, I would sell it myself, but because it's not that great of a brand, I'm not going to. Or it's a decent brand that I would sell, like an Anthro piece or a Free People piece, but the style doesn't seem good enough that I would sell it myself. So it's kind of like on the scale, only one of the boxes is checked, so I'm gonna consign it. Also, since I go so often, sometimes there's pieces that I have had listed for a while that I just end up bringing in. For example, these Paige jeans are like pinstriped, kind of crop wide leg jeans. They're probably gonna mark these quite high because they're Paige, and they have not been doing well for me because they are pinstripe and they are a crop length. I'm not gonna show you nearly every single thing I'm bringing in. Maybe I'll just show you like 10 things super quick here and explain why. Then I'm gonna hang it up and just show you how much I have in total. I'm not really gonna count because it's a lot of stuff and it obviously doesn't really matter that much, but you're supposed to only bring 100 items at the most. Rarely am I able in one bin strip to find 100 items to bring in, so I don't think I almost have ever had 100, but I will say I usually do have quite a lot. Okay, so for example, these two items. These, and I'm sorry that the lighting is bad, I have tried anything and everything down here. I had this light on, there's a light over here that I had on. This actually is like the best lighting that I could figure out, or else everything is like way too uneven. But for example, these are some gauze cotton tops. They're actually by the same brand, and they are by Como Vintage. I have no clue what that is. I have no clue where it's from. These are a great style. Gauze cotton is super popular. This is like an olive green. This one's like a rust orange. They're actually the same size and the same brand. So they check the box in style, but not necessarily brand. So they should do good at the consignment store. Here's another one that I would say is a cute style, but not a brand that I really have luck with. So this is a plush kind of waffle knit, really squishy, really soft sweater. It's actually a turtleneck. And this is by LL Bean. I don't really have luck selling LL Bean unless it's vintage and it's kind of like a Scottish or Irish wool. So this is a cute style, but just not a brand that I would have much luck with. So let's do the opposite. This next piece is J. Crew, and it is a slightly newer J. Crew piece. It is a newer label of the Outlet. This is a size medium. This is a style that I don't think I would have much luck selling. It is like a midi thigh length skirt. It is really cute. It's a metallic gold gingham, and you might argue that this could do good for the holidays, but the issue is this would probably end up only selling for maybe 20 if I was lucky. It'd probably take a while. In my opinion, I probably wouldn't end up being able to sell this just because shorter skirts don't do that well for me. Metallics don't always do that well for me. And so why not just quickly bring it to a place that I know will take it, where it honestly probably will sell. Someone can pick it up at Turnstile for like $16, $17, wear it to like a holiday party, and then I get a little bit of profit. This probably cost me like, I don't know, like $1. It's very, very lightweight. So this one, I actually kind of like the brand and I kind of like the style. This is Banana Republic, which I am picky on style with, but this is a pretty cute style. It's a striped wrap blouse. It's got kind of like different directional stripes to it. It's kind of got a peplum waist. Though I like the style, I don't think this is a style that would actually sell very fast. And I also don't think this is super modern. I didn't check, but I would assume this is probably like a 2016 to 2018 piece. So again, great for consignment, not great for me to sell myself. We're gonna do two more because I think you guys get the picture, and then I'm gonna start hanging this stuff up because this is gonna take me a while. So next up is another one where the brand is good, but the style isn't one I think I would have much luck with, and that is this J. Crew piece. Once again, this is J. Crew brushed twill. It's an extra large men's green shirt. It's actually kind of a flannel material. Again, I'm so sorry that the lighting is not good. I wish I could make it look better. This is just, it's like a forest green flannel shirt. J. Crew men's doesn't really do that well for me unless it's the Wallace and Barnes line, or if it's really substantial, made with really good materials. Like say if it was a blazer or a jacket or a coat, that I'd be more willing to do, but their pants, their chinos, their khakis, their flannel shirts, their dress shirts, their sweatshirts, that stuff just doesn't do very well. I have better luck, I feel, with Banana Republic men's actually than J. Crew men's, though neither of them do super well. mall brands, for the most part, I do try to stick to women's pieces. And then this would be an example of the opposite side of the coin once again. So this is a really cute style. This collared, kind of preppy looking sweater. Again, it's like a pea green, army green type color. It's really soft and squishy, but it is just Jessica Simpson. So I like this style. I know it would sell to someone, but obviously not for much because it's not a great brand. So I know this will do well to like someone locally. I just don't think I could sell it to someone online. So I think you guys kind of see what I have in mind when I'm sourcing for my consigning. Not to say that you guys didn't honestly know before, but I thought that was kind of a little insight for you. I'm gonna get to hanging this stuff and then I will show you how much I have in the end. I've got everything hung up now and it's actually a bit less than I kind of thought it was gonna be. That's surprising, but this is my organization now. I do really like the Turnstile employees a lot. They are very nice to me. Obviously I see them quite frequently, so I try to make their job a little easier if I can. Also, there is not water. That is just the reflecting of those fringy party decor that I had hung up. On these black hangers, if I ever have any, I put kids items, which is not very often, but I actually do have 2 this week. On these clear plastic hangers, I put men's items. Then I also sort the women's on velvet hangers by category. So I kind of start off with the sleeveless items. I don't really know if they want to put this in the sweaters or tanks, so I will just let them decide. Then we have short sleeves. So here's a better look at these 2 items that I showed you in the like dark. The Como vintage gauze cotton tops. I actually have quite a bit of gauze cotton this time. Then I have the long sleeves. So obviously with the fall happening right now, a lot of flannels, but otherwise just like long sleeve blouses. There's the Banana Republic I was trying to show you guys. Then I have these sweaters or more knit items. So of course lately that's what I've been really trying to get. Then I have the jackets or shackets. So yes, this is kind of like a flannel, but it's definitely a heavier like shacket piece that does so well at my turnstile. And then I do the dresses in the back, usually just because those are the longest items. So it's kind of the easiest when I'm actually bringing the items to kind of wrap everything up in the dresses, because I gotta obviously like fold all this in half, put it in an IKEA bag, and bring it in. So the dresses in the back usually just work the best. And then in my tub, I have all my pants, all my skirts, all my bottoms, shorts, everything like that. Of course, I put my shoes in here. If I have any hats or accessories, I'll put those in here. I have a Michael Kors scarf. I have a hat by some brand that looked kind of valuable. I've got a Minnesota Vikings fanny pack. Sometimes I'll grab little like countertop or bar top or kitchen books. I feel like those do pretty well, like those Williams-Sonoma ones you sometimes see. And then the shoes usually go on top of everything. Usually this is pretty full, and usually I would say I have a bit more than this. Again, I didn't realize I was kind of like short on stuff this time compared to usual, but it also doesn't matter. I just like to have a pretty full amount to bring in each week to keep my inventory pretty stocked there. So let's go sit down and wrap up this workday. Well, everyone, it is actually the next morning right now. Yes, I'm in the same shirt because I did sleep in this shirt, so I apologize. But I am still wrapping up some of the things from yesterday, so I'm just still finishing up a real box. I am also just kind of getting my shipping gathered, and I still have to get my turnstile stuff gathered in the IKEA bag and pack my car. And I'm putting together this video that you're seeing now, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this work with me. As you can see, this happens like every day. I kind of make unattainable lists of things to do. All the stuff that I would like to get done in a day, there's never any chance I could actually get it all done. Like I said yesterday, I wanted to take pictures of some inventory. Didn't happen, and there would have been no time to do that. So I'm sure this is the case with kind of any self-employed job, but the workflow is 24/7 all the time, every day. Like it is so much work all the time. So if you ever see that I'm like late on uploading a video or slow to like list some items from a haul, usually it's not because I'm being lazy, it's because I have a million other things that I'm doing, especially if reselling, plus if you do like YouTube and other things like that, are your full-time sustainable job. Like that's your career and that's all you do and that's how you make money. If you're like me, even if you get like a second or a minute or a half an hour or whatever, where you do feel a little more caught up, usually I can always come up with like 10 more things that I could be or should be doing. For example, if I was super caught up, I would probably go online arbitraging. I would probably make sure that I have all my pictures taken of all my items. I would probably need to do inventory. There's probably shipping I should go grab. I should probably be pulling things from my inventory to bring to Turnstile this next week. It's kind of never ending. If we didn't get to everything that I talked about in the beginning, I honestly don't even remember what all I listed off now. That is why it's really easy to make a to-do list that is like way too much or way too long. I think it'd be better, and I think something I really want to work on this next year is like the work-life balance, or at least just creating a better workflow. This is something I feel like I have tried to do over the past couple years, and I think I have gotten better with my work-life balance. But I would love to kind of at the beginning of the week make a list of things that I want to get done over the week. I feel like that'd be a little easier, so I could just do them as I feel I have time or the ability to do them, versus it's the morning of just whatever day and I think of everything I basically need to get done that doesn't necessarily have to happen that day, and then I'm super overwhelmed, and then I like really try to get it all done when really I could be doing them throughout the week. I don't know what like rant I'm going on now. Now I feel like I'm just like speaking my mind and speaking my feelings on the amount of work that I'm always doing. I just wanted to show you guys a look into a day of working for me. Every day is kind of different. There's obviously so many different things to do when it comes to my job. When I have 2 YouTube channels that are totally different content, when I do consignment like Turnstile and Real, when I sell myself on all these different platforms, when I'm sourcing in all these different places, shipping, there's just like, there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of work, and I'm not trying to get any sympathy at all. I don't really even know why I'm saying this, but it's just a lot of work. So I hope you guys liked getting a little glance into some of the work that I do. Let me know what you thought of this, and if you'd like to see any work with me's or day in the life or whatever you want to call it in the future, because I'm totally open to doing that. But otherwise, I will see you Saturday for a final week of Vlogoween, or Sunday for a regular What Sold Sunday with Ryan, where we are going to do P.O. Box packages if anybody did send one. But thank you, as per usual, for watching, and I will see you when you choose to see me next. Goodbye.